Tonight I will be sleeping on top of that mountain. And I didn't bring a tent. Climbing mountains is a game of putting on and taking off layers. You're cold at the bottom before you start, and then you're hot when you walk up, and freezing when you get to the top. Everybody always says, try not to sweat, you know, because then you'll be all wet and you'll freeze even harder. But there's really no way around it. Check this out. They may be wilty, but they're still sweet. Holy cow, are those good. Mountain blueberries are the best blueberries. Alright, now we need to decide if I want to sleep in the trees or if I want to keep walking, and then there will be no trees. The trees are a nice windbreak, but it's dead calm. So I might camp over here. This is cool. I've camped right here before, several times, but never when there wasn't snow. It looks like somebody else had a fire right here. I'll probably do that today too. So I guess I'll drop camp here. I don't have much gear. My backpack's got mostly jackets in it. There are clouds coming in over us and clouds filling the valley. So pretty soon I'm going to be a cloud sandwich. The best part about this campsite is all the blueberries. Let me show you my sleeping system. I love camping without a tent in the wintertime. And it's not quite winter yet, but there are no bugs. So the tent is pretty much useless in my mind. When you put a sleeping bag in a compression sack, you're actually damaging the feathers and it loses its insulating properties over time. So I just left it out in my backpack because my backpack was mostly empty. This is called a bivy, and a bivy is basically a trash bag that goes over your sleeping bag. So it protects you from water from seeping underneath and rain if it comes down. But it's not a tent, it's literally just a plasticky sleeping bag. And then I have a pad. And the pad it's an air mattress, but these ones are 4-season winter pads, so the air compartments are really small, so your body warms up a little compartment. Because if you slept on like a pool floaty, it would make you super cold because the air is circulating and conducting cold from the outside. And another nice thing about the bivy is that when you put everything inside it, it's such a small area that you retain heat a lot more efficiently than if you were in a tent. So I can sleep in my 0-degree sleeping bag actually down to 0 degrees. But if I was in a tent and it got down to 20, I would be freezing my butt off. All right, let's put it together. So this is it. I'll just find a decently flat spot to lay down. I'll just put my shoes in my backpack. That's all there is to it. If it rains or something, I just pull this little lid over me. The bivy comes with like 3 tent poles, and you can put them in here and it makes like an arch over you, and there's a bug net. But if there's no bugs, I don't need the tent poles. I'll just sleep like this, and I can look out at the mountains all night. It's great when the stars are out. I really love bivy camping. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Your whole system weighs less than like 3 pounds, and a tent weighs 7. It's warmer in a bivy than it is in a tent because of how tight the compartment is. You can see outside, which is one of the worst things about a tent, is that you can't see what's around. Waking up to a bear outside your tent is the worst thing ever. But if you hear something when you're in a bivy, you just sit up and look, and the gun's right next to you, and you don't have to unzip the tent to like see what's going on. Let me show you one of my trail delicacies. When you do these all-day mountain hikes and like long-term hunts, like bear hunts and stuff, the hardest thing is getting enough calories to replace everything you burn while you're walking around. But I have the solution. Is 2 kinds of Oreos. I have Oreo Thins and double stuff Oreos. And what you do is you take a fork and you put it on the double stuff Oreo, and then you submerge that in milk and set your milk to the side. Now while that's cooking, I have a little Tupperware container full of peanut butter. And I take the Oreo Thin and I dip it in the peanut butter. You got your protein, your carbs, and there's fat in peanut butter too. And then, when you're done with your peanut butter Oreo, your milk Oreo should be soft. I wonder if it's going to rain all night. It's just drizzling on me right now. One time I was with my brother, and we were lazy, and we left our food in the tent. We got to camp around 2 a.m., and it was raining, and we never saw the area and the light, so we didn't really know where to put our food, and we're like, it'll be fine. We'll just keep it in our tent for tonight. It'll be bright soon. It was summertime. And then we woke up, and Tommy got out to like go pee, and he's like, bear. And I was like, sweet. It's like, no, wrong kind, brown bear. And there was a brown bear just outside our tent wanting to get our food. And so he circled uphill of us and kind of started jumping up and down on his front paws and trying to intimidate us. I started flapping the rain fly on the tent to make it look like the tent was a big thing, and he eventually wandered off. I'll probably walk my food, I don't know, 200 yards away. There's no trees really to put it in, so I just try and put it far enough away that if a bear gets into my food, I probably won't even hear him. My food can stay there, and camp is over there. It's raining pretty good, so I'll put this over my head. Another good thing about the bivy is that in the morning, this will be super easy to pack up. I can just deflate my sleeping pad, roll the whole thing up, and stuff it in my backpack, and I'm ready to go. See ya in the morning. I was not expecting it to rain, and I ended up getting rained on for 12 hours straight. So it's before sunrise, but I just got tired of laying around, so I'm start walking early. There's a cliff right there. I much prefer to be above the clouds than inside them. It's very calm and peaceful up here today. Usually ridge tops are super windy. I just flushed like 30 ptarmigans. Oh, I see another one. See that bush right there? There's a ptarmigan underneath it. Let me see if I can sneak up on him. Trying to be as sneaky as I can. I'm using the contours of the mountain so he can't see me. There he is. Oh, you hear him? There's two. I missed. In my personal opinion, a rock ptarmigan is one of the hardest game birds to kill. They're just so cautious, especially right now because they know that they're white and the mountains are brown. Because of the challenge of rock ptarmigan hunting and just the beauty of the places they live. I think that's probably my favorite small game animal in the world to chase. Never pass up an opportunity to eat a berry. I always dream of moose hunting here because you can overlook so much good habitat. It takes about 9 80-pound backpacks to pack a moose out of the mountains, and it seems like I'd be biting off too much to chew.